All right, so we have a numbers question here. It says the number of integers x, which falls in this range. So as soon as you read this part, it says this 2 to the power x, or whatever the number is, this 2 to the power x has a constraint, so powers of 2 that is. And even the requirement part such that whatever and this thing is divisible by. So this also has this 2 to the power x, right? So if you think about powers of 2, 0.25 is 2 to the power minus 2, right? That is 1 by 4. So you cannot have minus 2 as a power. The maximum limit is 2 to the power 7, right? Because 2 to the power 8 is exceeding this range. So effectively what we have as a range of x is minus 1, acceptable, that is, up to 7. So this is the range of x that is available to us. These are the integers that are available to us. So the other condition that we have is this thing, 2 to the power x plus 2, is perfectly divisible by either 3 or 4. So as soon as it says, divisible by either 3 or 4, in that case, this x equal to minus 1 doesn't make any sense anymore, because if you substitute x equal to minus 1 here, you'll have something like half plus 2, which is not an integer. So if it is not an integer, there is no point of checking divisibility and all. So let me readjust this range. So we don't care about this minus 1 at all. So the range that we are looking for is 0 to 7. 0 will be acceptable because 2 to the power 0 will be 1, by the way. So let us first discuss some basic ideas here. So we are looking for divisible by either of 3 or 4. So either 3 or 4 is sufficient to qualify the number as satisfying this condition. Uh, in order to be multiple of 4, first of all, it has to be even number, and in the even cases it has to be multiples of 4. So maybe it directly doesn't make sense, but what I'm looking at is something like this. So if I have, let's say, 2 square or 2 cube, these numbers, so x equal to 2, 3, 4 onwards, if I add a 2 to this, the problem is this will never be divisible by 4. Any number of this form, beyond this, or 2 square, 2 cube, 2 to the power 4, all of this, if you add 2 to it, it will never be divisible by 4. The reason being, the first part will always be divisible by 4, but the second part won't be. So same thing here, right? 2 cube, 2 to the power 4, whichever you take, is definitely divisible by 4, right? 4 is 2 square. But the second part, when you're adding the 2, it's not divisible by 4. So if one part is divisible by 4 and the other is not, so we are not going to have a multiple of 4. The other part, if you think about 3, so if you let me try to generalize this with this expression itself. So you have 2 to the power x plus 2. This 2 that we have, if I divide it by 3, if you are good with negative remainder, so you can just quickly check that this will be something like minus 1 whole to the power x plus 2. Now, if this x is odd, then you have minus 1 plus 2. So if x is odd, yeah, minus 1 plus 2, that is 1. So it is leaving a remainder of 1 when divided by 3. But if the x is even, the remainder will be 1 plus 2, which is 3, which is divisible by 3. So if for all x even, this criteria is anyhow going to be satisfied, because you'll have a multiple of 3 any which way. And for x greater than or equal to 2, none of the numbers will be greater or divisible by 4, right? So we don't have to check for 4, just that the even ones will be satisfying. But what about x less than 2? So with just couple of things, just manually check this. So you have 2 to the power 0 plus 1, and 2 to the power 0 plus 2, that is, and 2 to the power 1 plus 2. So 2 to the power 0 plus 2 is 3, and 2 to the power 1 plus 2 is 4. Both of these are satisfying the criteria, right? And beyond this, I don't have to check for 4. The only thing, it can be divisible by 3 in case where x are even. So falling in this range, that is x less than equal to 7. We'll have it for 2 square plus 2, 2 to the power 4 plus 2, and 2 to the power 6 plus 2. So that's it. So these numbers will be divisible by 3. You can manually check this up also, but it might take some time. If you're good with these understandings, then this analysis will take roughly 10 to 15 seconds. I just elaborated this in details, but if you know these ideas, this will be very easy to figure out this part. in 10 to 15 seconds. So all you have to do is just figure out these cases. So you have a total of 5 possible cases. So in this case, the answer will be 5. Uh, One last thing, from coming from the analysis point here, I already said. I mean, if you analyze this, you can solve this. I mean, you can at least analyze this in 10 to 15 seconds. And of course, I mean, this part is nothing to do. This part, okay, I mean, it might take a fraction of some few seconds here. So overall, I mean, if you're good at these understandings, then this question can be done in less than 45 seconds actually. But still, if you're not good at it, I mean, it's not compulsory. This is something I've already always mentioned when it comes to CAT prep. When it comes to a number theory problem, you don't need to know too much details of number theory. Some basic ideas, if you know, then it will save some time. Basic ideas, meaning these parts. But if you are not even aware of that, if you have basic understanding of divisibility, still you should be able to manage this question in 1 to 1.5 minutes. So it's definitely a round one question. In the first round of scanning, you should be targeting and solving these kind of questions. It's not tough to solve, provided you have some basic understanding of number theory. You don't need to know too many theorems and stuff to crack that. Just need to understand the basic divisibility ideas, HCF LCM ideas, what is the meaning of remainders. So those kind of basic ideas you should be very well, adept with. So that's it for the solution and the analysis. Hope that was understood. Thank you.